Hi dear students, you are all welcome to another video of ICSE Class 10 English 2. Today we are going to start with a short story. The name of the short story is The Little Match Girl. It's written by Hans Christian Andersen. This is a very beautiful story. It talks about or tells about the life or the suffering of a little match girl. By the name of the title or by the name of the story itself, we can understand what is the name of that girl and what is the job of this girl. The girl is a little girl, and what do she sell? She sells matchsticks. She sells matchsticks in the street there. Okay, so this little match girl, let me tell you, this story is a didactic story. You may ask, what is a didactic story? Before, let me tell you the didactic story. Let me remind you a poem that you have learned in your class 10. It's called Abu Ben Adam. When the poem I was explaining, I can tell you that poem says what? It talks about the poem. It's a poem and it has a moral. So as a poem has a moral and it also has an incident, a short narrative story there from the life of Abu Ben Adam there. Same manner, this story, The Little Match Girl, it has a story. It's a story, and the story has a moral. So the story, a poem that has a moral, is called didactic. It's a poem, a didactic poem, and as this is a story, it's a didactic story. And what is the moral of this poem? Story is the story of this story is sympathy towards those who could not fulfill their basic necessities of life. That means we can say one more thing: we should help the needy people of the society. This is what the moral has been taught by this story of Hans Christian Andersen. Okay, now moving forward further, then the story covers two themes. One of the theme is class disparity. Disparity means differentiation. We know that in our society there is a differentiation as there. That is not eligible, that is not good for differentiation, that is not good to differentiate the people on the basis of their class. Because we all are human beings. So differentiation is not good for among human beings. Moving to the next theme of the story is faith and hope. We all have faith in whom? The ultimate, whom? The God. And we have a hope that He will be looking for our better. He will give our, He will do all things for our better there. This is what the main theme of the story is. Okay. Now moving further, it talks about the visions. This girl in this story will learn about the visions of this little match girl. The girl has 4 visions. The first vision is an iron stove. Second is a roasted goose. And the third is a large Christmas tree. And fourth is she visualizes her late grandmother. These visions have some meaning. Okay, so this things she's not able to see, she's not seeing in this all these things in real life. Okay, she's imagining all these things. So we can call as an imagination, or we can call as a hallucination, even we can call as a dream of the girl. Okay, so these things let us see in this story in detail then. Let me begin the story by reading the text there. It was bitterly cold, snow was falling and the darkness was gathering. But it was the last evening of the old year. It was New Year's Eve. So story begins with a setting of this background, setting the story. The background of the story says that it was a cold and bitterly cold evening and snow was falling. As snow was falling, people were very busy in celebration, and the darkness was gathering form. Darkness was gathering form means it was becoming night. That means at present it is evening. And this evening people are very busy in preparation for what? For the evening. So say goodbye to the old year. And they are all making preparation for the new year. That means which day it is? It is 31st December. And people are very busy in making preparation or celebration in order to celebrate the next year, New Year, that is 1st January. This is the background. So a mood has been created. What is a mood? It's a winter and a celebration mood is in a society. Okay, in that celebration mood, Who is there? Our main character is there, the little match girl there. In the cold and gloom, a poor girl walked, bareheaded, barefooted, through the streets. She had been wearing slippers, it's true, when she left home, but what good were they? They had been her mother's. So you can imagine how big they were. The little girl had lost them as she ran across the street to escape from two carriages that were being driven terribly fast. One slipper could not be found, and a boy had run off with other, saying it could be come in very handy as a cradle someday when he had children of his own. So what happened? In this bitter cold, a girl is walking in the street. And how the girl is? The girl is walking bareheaded. Bareheaded means no protection over her head in this extreme winter month, December month. At the same time, there is no footwear. She is walking barefoot. But it says that the girl had footwear. Now where it has gone? Was it applicable? Was it a fit for her foot there? No. It was her mother's. It was not a proper match or a proper fitting for her legs there. And what happened to those footwears? What happened? When the girl was crossing the road, what happened to carriages were moving fast. So now to save herself, the girl ran across the road. And while running across the road, what happened? The slippers slipped away or thrown away from her legs. And what happened? One of the footwear is missing, is lost. Another footwear was taken away by a boy. The boy on the road side, he has taken the footwear and he ran off with that footwear, that slipper. And he was making comment, what will do? He will make a cradle with the girl's footwear, that slipper there, when he will get married for his child. That means the boy wanted to comment on the girl, that slipper is no use for the girl. It is not of her proper match. Then what will be she will be able to do with that footwear? Okay, even though she has only one, now what is the use for her? So by saying this, when the girl took away the footwear from there, and he ran away there. So the girl is barefoot. In which month? It is in extreme December winter month there. So the little girl walked about the streets on her naked foot, which were red and blue with the cold. In her old apron, she carried a great many matches, and she had a packet of them in her hand as well. Nobody had bought any from her, and no one had given her a single penny all day. She crept along shivering and hungry. The picture of misery, poor little girl, poor little thing. So what author says, that the little girl, she was walking in the streets in the naked feet. No footwear, bareheaded also. At the same time, the girl was suffering from cold. So because of that, what happened? Her feet were becoming red and blue. They were becoming numb. The girl was suffering from extreme winter. At the same time, the girl was wearing clothes. Which clothes? What was the name of the clothes? It's called apron. It's not a proper suitable clothes for the winter then. So the girl is supposed to wear warm clothes. But the pathetic thing or pathetic condition of the girl is so poor that she cannot afford even warm clothes. She is able to adjust with herself with the apron, and her apron pockets were there. In that pockets, mastics were there. And the girl was trying to sell mastics in the street. And what was the unfortunate thing is that she could not sell even one mastic for the day. Since morning she is selling, now it has become evening and it's becoming dark also. The girl could not sell a single mastic, and even she has not earned a single penny for the day. And the most satirical thing is that the society people have not purchased. From whom? This poor girl there. Okay, that is a satire thing there. She crept, but the girl did not bother. The girl kept on moving, and the girl was shivering in the winter, and the girl was hungry also. So that shows the miserable condition of this girl. That the girl is suffering in this extreme winter, but the girl has not given up. She has still faith and hope that somebody will be there to purchase her mastics there. The girl kept on walking in the streets, and she is trying to sell the mastic there. That was a miserable condition of that poor girl. The snow flakes fell on long golden hair, which curled so prettily about her neck, but she did not think of her appearance now. Light were shining in every window, and there was a glorious smell of roasted goose in the street. For this was New Year's Eve, and she could not think of anything else. So now what happened? The girl was selling mastics. The girl's appearance has been explained by author Hans Christian Andersen. He says that the girl was very beautiful girl. The girl has blonde hairs, curly blonde hairs, and on that curly blonde hairs, what was falling? The snowflake was falling and it was rolling. But the girl ignored it. The girl did not bother about, or she was not conscious about her beauty, because her main aim is to sell the mastics. Selling the mastics will help her to earn a penny. Earning a penny means surviving for the day. That is what her main is there. So the girl did not bother. So as the girl is walking, she has seen that everyone's window light was there. Everyone has a glowing light there. And at the same time, the smell of roasted goose was coming to her nose there. That means everyone has been cooking delicious food at their home there. But what is the current condition of this girl? The girl is hungry. But the ironical thing of this here, a sarcastical thing of this here is, no one has offered a single food, a piece of food, or no one even offered a roasted goose this girl. Everyone is busy celebrating Christmas or the New Year Eve in their home in a comfortable manner. They all have ignored this girl there. She huddled down in a heap in a corner formed by two houses, one of which projected further out into the street, than the other. But though she tucked her little legs up under her feet, she felt colder and colder. She did not dare to go home, for she had sold no matches and earned not a single penny. Her father would be sure to beat her. And besides, it was so cold at home for they had nothing but the roof above them. And the wind whistled through that, even though the largest crack was stuffed with straw and rugs. Her thin hands were almost numb with cold. If only she dared pull just one small match from the packet, strike it on the wall and warm her fingers. So author says that the girl walks further, and as she is not able to bear the winter, what the girl does, she moves to the corner of two houses. And this corner, what the girl crouch herself. Hurdling means crouching herself, where you keep your hands and legs very closer to your body and belly or your chest there. This is called a hurdle. The girl hurdled because the girl tried to wanted to warm herself because she was feeling extremely cold there. But unfortunately, she was feeling much more colder and colder. Now, you may think the girl could have gone home there. If the girl goes home, what happened? Her father will beat her because the girl had not sold a single mastic for the day. So definitely her father will beat her. That means that shows the cruelty of her father. Her father, he makes her to do what? Sell mastics. He is favoring the child labor there. Because why? Because they are poor there. At the same time, now if by chance her father is not at home there, it is no use of her going home there. Because the home that she has, the house that she has, it's only for the namesake. Because the roofs, there are lots of cracks are there. And the largest crack, the big crack, what is there? It has been covered with what? Straws and rags, old clothes. And through that cracks, what enters? What whistles and enters? The wind whistles and enters. It makes noise and enters the house. So do the girl has any use of going home? No. Because wind will be passing through, the flow and the snowflakes will be falling. The winter it will be cold in her home, at her home also there. So the girl did not dare to go home. Because it's no use to go home also. Either she will be beaten by her father, otherwise she has to suffer the same climatic condition at her home also there. Okay. Then, at this moment the girl can do only one thing. The daring thing that a girl can do one thing is what? Take a matchstick and burn it. Okay, so this the girl is going to burn it. And what the girl does? Look in the next paragraph. She pulled one out, scratched, how it spluttered and burned. It had a warm, bright flame like a tiny candle when she held her hand over it. But what a strange light! It seemed to the little girl as if she were sitting in front of a great iron stove with polished brass knobs and brass ornaments. The fire burned so beautifully and gave out such a lovely warmth. Oh, how wonderful that was! The child had already stretched her feet to warm them too when out went out the flame. The stove vanished, and there she sat with a burnt matchstick in her hand. So now what happened? The girl burned the first matchstick. As she burns the first matchstick, the matchstick burns with sparkles and it burns and it gives warmth. The girl was wondering, okay, because she feels that the flame of the matchstick was like a tiny candle. She felt the warmth. Okay, and then what happened? As the matchstick starts burning, she goes in the world of imagination, or we can say it's in a hallucination. The girl has a hallucination or a dream. What the dream? She is sitting in front of an iron stove, and the iron stove has brassy knobs. Okay, and the color of the iron stove is brassy also. It was burning and it was giving what? Warmth. And it has been understood the girl was feeling warmth when the girl started to stretch her legs. The girl was feeling comfortable in front of the iron stove. Keep in mind, it is not reality, it's an imagination of that girl. It's a hallucination. It was a girl had a vision under the light of the matchstick. And the girl stretched her leg in order to feel warmth. What happened suddenly? The matchstick burned out. As the matchstick burned out, what happened? The iron stove vanished from her eyes. From her, in front of her vision, the vision has been cleared off. Now what is only there? Only darkness is there. The girl feels fantasy by see this imagination there. So have this imagination. So the girl is feeling happy, and the girl is going to take another matchstick to see what comes the next. She struck another. It burned clearly, and where the light fell upon the wall, the bricks became transparent, like gaze. Gaze means transparent cloth. She could see right into the room where a shiny white cloth was spread on the table. It was covered with beautiful china, and in the center of it stood a roasted goose, stuffed with prunes and apples, steaming deliciously. And what was even more wonderful was that the goose hopped down from the dish, waddled across the floor with a carving knife and fork in her back, waddled straight up to the poor child. Then out went the match, and nothing could be seen but the thick cold wall. So in the second dream, what the girl sees, the matchstick has been burned. She is able to visualize what the light of the matchstick falls on the wall. As the light falls on the wall became transparent. As the wall became transparent, she is able to vision what is behind the wall. And she is able to see that in one of the house, a table has been laid. The table is been spread with what? Laid with what? White cloth. On that white cloth, some china dishes have been arranged. And there, a roasted goose, a dish has been kept there of roasted goose. And that roasted goose was cooked with prunes means plums, and apples. And with a delicious manner it was cooked. A delicious fragrance. Who felt? The girl felt. Okay, and the wonderful thing was that as the girl was watching the roasted goose means the meat of a duck. As the girl was wondering, okay, making imagination there, the surprising thing, the wonderful thing was that the roasted goose become alive. That means the roasted goose in a cooked manner with the carving knives and the forks on his back, it jumped, it hopped from the table. And it waddled means started walking short steps. It started to walk, and it came in front of the girl. Okay, as it came in front of the girl, and as we can imagine, the roasted goose was trying to tempt the girl, come and eat me. Okay, this is what the roasted goose was trying to tempt the girl there. But unfortunately, as the roasted goose wandered and came in front of her, what went off? The mastic light, the mastic burned off. Okay, the mastic burned out. As the mastic burned out, what happened? Everything vanished. Became again darkness. Only what the girl can see. They can see darkness on the wall. Nothing could also see. That means her imagination came to an end when what is burned out, the mastic is burned out there. Okay, so this is sufficient for this class here. We will continue reading and explanation of this chapter again in the second video. Till there, thank you for watching. Bye bye.